How's it going, everyone? We're here to check out the skins that have potential to make it in for this next week. If you're new and don't know what that means, it means that all these skins have a chance, but some of them might not make it in. Some may never have a chance to ever, and hey, that's just how it all goes. I mean, there's 100 plus skins submitted every week, and only 8 to 10 are chosen by the lead dev and creator of the game every week. So, jumping in, we've got a burlap set for you, and it's the Mirachi burlap pants and shirt. Definitely a fun little concept, and I think they executed it pretty well. Next, we've got a really creative set for you, the Royal Chainmail, and it's a combo of a balaclava and a poncho, and they just did this really awesome job. I think the royal purples with the little tassels and everything just really make this thing pop out. And then you've got this balaclava that just makes a crown with chainmail. It just looks absolutely great. Next, we have the Fighter Pilot hoodie and pants for you. And as you can see, it has kind of like a green kind of going on with it. Now, the green doesn't really blend in too much to too many things, so I wouldn't really call it a camo kind of thing. I mean, it is still green, but hey, if this did pop in, I could see some people wanting to grab it for that. But it also has a nice kind of military look, of course, with that Fighter Pilot vibe. Our next hoodie and pants are the Inflatables, and we've been seeing a lot of different pieces from this set, and I think it translates the clothing pretty well, and as you can see, it kind of gives it that puffy kind of windbreaker kind of feel to it. Definitely a funny little design that translates well to these. Next up, we have the bandage set. It's an entire hoodie and pants set made to look like you're wrapped up in bandages. There is like a little kind of like gown underneath, looks very kind of like a hospital gown. So, man, this person had some injuries, but in Rust, it kind of makes sense, you know. A lot of us go through a lot of different horrible things in this game, which is what makes us love it, right? Last, for our hoodies and pants, we have a fleece set for you, and the whole thing looks like it is a big old fleece hoodie. It also has kind of like an urban snow camo kind of thing going on underneath there, kind of digital look. Then you've got a bunch of different, like, I guess, maybe death markers? I'm not entirely sure there. Got another one over here on this side. And there you have it. Next up, we've got some gloves and boots, and the Blackberry are the first ones here for you. As you can see, it's the, well, Blackberry set. I mean, it's got blackberries all over, and then your feet can look like a giant blackberry. So there you have it. Next, Cyber Gloves are seeing their second iteration. As you can see right here, they have been updated to look more like the metal armor, and they kind of have just like a little more kind of crisp edge to them. A little more, I would say, detailing to the kind of edges of the paneling, but otherwise they're pretty much the same thing as last time. Next, we've got the fancy gold dress hike wall set for you. As you can see here, it's got kind of like an evening masquerade kind of mask thing going on. And then you've got a little kind of like tux underneath of this gold vest, bow tie included. Definitely a very interesting looking set. How do you guys feel about this one? Next up, we have the Norseman set for you. It has two different versions, one with a cutout face, which you can see is this one right here, and then one with a little bit less cutout face, which you can always check out down in the video's description, where I have a link to the workshop. Lastly, we have the Warrior set by Gentle Beast, and as you can see, well, it's a very kind of like beast-looking warrior. You have a kind of, again, cut face mask, missing kind of the bottom half there. And there we go with that. Alright, let's move along to the deployable section. Starting off, we've got the Cactus sleeping bag for you. Doesn't exactly look like the funnest bag to maybe sleep in, especially for that pillow. But hey, it might keep people away from you or from touching it. Then over here, we've got the Scout's sleeping bag, or, well, specifically Rust Scout sleeping bag. It looks like you can get lots of Rust badges on there, which are themed after some of the little, like, achievement things. So that's definitely really cool and well done. You have a little robe, glow stick, map, various other little things going on. Then we've got a butterfly small box for you. Nice continuation with the butterflies set. Of course, just like the rest of the set, it has a glowing and a non-glowing version. Moving along, we've got the TV box. This one is meant to kind of mimic the new retro tool cupboard in the way that it is using old kind of looking electronics. And I think they used a good reference and did a great job on it. Moving along, we've got our large boxes, and the first one up is going to be the Contraband Scrap Box. Nice continuation in the Contraband set. Moving along, we've got the Retro Meds box. It has two versions. One version that's kind of more beige, and then this is the more kind of gunmetal gray design. Moving on, we've got a very kind of military industrial look to the camo riveted box here. You can see a nice wood underneath, and then there's all this kind of military camo paint over the riveted metal. Then we've got ourselves the Elite Ammo large wood box. Always cool to see stuff that looks like in-game things. Following that, we've got the Cobalt PC. Does look a little bit advanced for Cobalt, not quite too retro enough, but definitely still a cool box. And last here, we've got the Resonance large wooden box. Definitely has kind of like a little alien kind of feel to it, you know? And I was wrong, we do have one more box here. It is the Pharaoh's Treasure box. Definitely a very nice design. Moving along, we've got some furnaces, and this first one is just crazy looking. This is the Sigil furnace. And yeah, it just kind of has this old kind of 3D effect. You know, the green and blue and red 3D glasses, literally kind of thing is what I mean. Then over here we've got ourselves the handmade furnace, and it has kind of like a pattern kind of cut through it where you can see the flames, and then the front has kind of like scorched welding. Then over here we got the next piece in the clan base set with the furnace. Just like the other one, it lights up with the various different types of lights. So you've got the, you know, kind of warm glow of the furnaces and so forth, and lanterns, and then you've got the white light of electricity and the actual flashlights on the weapons. Then over here we've got the potato furnace, and it's literally what it says. It's a potato. Has potato skins around potato graphics around potato peel. And then over here we've got the Oklahoma. Yeah, I can't say it right, guys. I'm just gonna start calling this Oklahoma or something. I don't know. Someone save me, please. Then moving along, we've got the Polished Wood Locker. And Archie, Mary, and Nathan. I don't know exactly who they are, but there you go. Definitely has kind of a bit of that more old west kind of feel to it. Then coming around for rugs, we've got a singular one for you with the Frontier Rustic panel. And there we go. I think that's the word I was looking for. It's a very rustic feel. Just felt too weird to call it rust, you know, rustic. You get it? Moving on to our doors, we've got a single wooden door for you, but it's a very cool design. It's the reinforced wooden door, and it has this cool little transparency, as you can see right here. And it's basically just old wood panels with some sheet metal put over it. Definitely something that fits into rust very, very well. Then we've got sheet metal doors galore for you, and our first one up here is going to be the Archaic sheet metal door. This one does have a glow and a non-glow. Then we've got the Bunker sheet metal door, Genome metal door, Toy Bricks, T-Shop double, Industrial Bloodgate double door. Then moving on to our garages, we've got the Suburban garage door for you, version 2. And then we have our Rust 99 garage door, Devil's Lava, Tomb of the Octopus version 2, Dinobit, and then moving up, we've got Psycho. Then we've got some armored doors for you. First one in the set's going to be the Neon Entrance, and it's kind of got that door inside of a door inside of a door thing going on. Then we have ourselves the Old Rust armored door. Then we have another one, the Caution neon door. And we've got a double door for you, the Bismuth double armored door. and the brutalized double armored door. So if we go ahead and cruise around, take a look at the back side. It is different on this one and this one and this one. And we can go ahead and kill our lights, and let's go ahead and take a look at the glow. The roller does have glow on this one and this one here. Now we got our double doors and just the one glowing sheet metal. We go ahead and take a look at our furnaces. And if we cruise all the way back to our boxes now, and that does it. Alright, next up we've got our tools and weapons, and first up we've got kind of a silly little rock for you. It's pretty simple, but it is a package of lean ground rock. 100% lean, 0% fat. There you go. It doesn't have to make sense. It's rust, and it's silly. Next we've got some stone tools for the Arctic protection set. Has a nice little frost on the actual kind of stone of the blade. And of course there is the matching pick. Then off into our metal tools for this week, we've got the bird skull hatchet. And yeah, it's got this kind of, it looks probably like a raven skull, and then you've got this little saw blade in it. There's a lot going on. It's got kind of like a tribal scrap kind of thing going on. Then of course it does have a matching pick. A lot more bones in this one, and a very razor kind of sharp pick at the front there. Then next up we've got another metal tool set for you. We have the Celestial Embers set, and they do actually have a bit of a faint glow, as you can see there. Nothing too crazy though. And of course we have the pickaxe as well. Then we've got a jackhammer for you this week, and it's part of the Arctic Skull set. Has these kind of like covered rubbered pieces, and then tearing out through there you can see like the skull. And of course when you use it, the skull shatters, which is just perfect for a jackhammer skin. Next we've got some swords, and the first one up here is this kind of twisty looking twisted blade sword. There you go. And then we've got, well, a swordfish for you. The swordfish sword. Moving on, we've got a bow for you here, and it's part of the snake bite set, as you can see with the snake right there. Aiming down the sights, you can see a lot of leaf patterns and so forth from the set. And there you have it. Then we've got a crossbow for you this week as well, and it is the oil spills crossbow. And, well, I mean, it's everything you would expect. Just oil spills and a little bit of rubber in between here and there, and that is it. There we go, looking down the sights. Next, we've got the Gothic DB for you, and yeah, this one just has a really kind of mean-looking design to it. Some nice little blood red highlights to it there, and literally a droplet of blood there. Aiming down the sights, you've got some swirls and so forth. Can't do too much with the sights, as they're not really edible. Then we've got ourselves a pump for you. This is, of course, the Imperial Pump Shotgun, if you haven't already recognized the design or seen the name there on the side. Aiming down the sights, you have another kind of design, and you've got that kind of metal on metal sight. Next, we've got an Ioka for you, the Royal Snake Ioka, and it's kind of like a simple little Ioka. It has a nice kind of just lacquered wood with this carved snake in the handle. Definitely very beautiful. Next, we have a python, and it is the Blackstone Python. Should be pretty familiar to anyone who's seen other pieces of the set. Aiming down the sights, you have kind of, it's still a black sight against black, but it kind of changes to almost a blue color depending on what is reflecting off of it. Next, we've got a sap for you. It's the Oxidized Copper Sap, and this just looks so rusty and handmade. Definitely one of those kind of guns that fits right into the theme of the game itself. Aiming down the sights here, you do have a faded kind of iron sight. And there we go for our reload. Next up, we've got the Diamond Thompson, next piece in the Diamond set. Definitely translates really beautifully to the Thompson. It's kind of a hard space to work with. Not a whole lot of space there, and I think they did a good job. For the sights, you do have a black against that diamond blue. Next, we've got the Forward to the Past SMG. This is another one that's just sculpted really cool. Just has this kind of badass look to it with all the plating and everything. Definitely feels like something you could see in Rust. Aiming down the sights here, you can see there is a red tip against the chrome sights. Next, we've got some MP5s, and this one is the Fallen Angel MP5. Definitely has a very kind of cool, worn and torn, kind of visceral look with it. Aiming down the sights, you do have the red versus the chrome. Next up, we've got the Dark Galaxy MP5 for you, and as you can see, it's pretty much an all-black kind of design. Some flat black here and there, and then mostly just kind of the gold sparkly little stars. It does have a cut stock, as you can see as well. And aiming down the sights, you can see one single little kind of star blip and black on black for the sides. Next, we've got one more SMG for you. It is the Black Diamond MP5. As you can see, it is pretty much just a flat black MP5 with some diamond encrusting for you. Aiming down the sides, you've got that diamond pattern with a black sight. Next, we've got some SARs, and first up, we've got the Snow Cover SAR, and this one just looks like it has been held together by who knows what, barely trying to survive. Then you've got all the frosty snow all over it. Again, just a very rusty, nice fitting gun. Aiming down the sights here, you have the normal iron sights. We do have one other SAR for you this week, and it is the Sharp Beak SAR. And as you look, it has kind of all these scribblings all over it and so forth. They might be runes, who knows? And then aiming down the sights, you see, oh, Sharp Beak, it's an owl. And you can see it kind of has a brass dots for the sights. And it is also a stockless SAR. Moving along, we have our ARs for the week, and first up we've got the Red Shine. This one might look like it glows, but it doesn't. It just has a bunch of shiny gems all over it. Aiming down the sights, you do have that red cracks and a red tip to the sights. Moving on, we've got the Reinforced Frame AK. This definitely has kind of like a futury look to it. I can see a lot of people liking this one because it's unique from a lot of other stuff. Aiming down the sides, you've got chrome versus red with some gray for those tips. And there's that reload. Next, we've got the Citro AK, and the whole thing just kind of has this old lime kind of look to it. The texturing is hard to describe, but it looks like it would almost kind of feel like it was styrofoam made to look like old citrus fruits. I don't know. It definitely has a very cool texture. Aiming down the sides, you've got a very citrusy thing going on with the lime and lemon and some red for the tip. Next, we've got the Jungle AK for you, a continuation in the Jungle set. We have seen one piece get accepted, so who knows, maybe this one will have a chance this week. Aiming down the sides here, you do have green dots. They may look like they glow, but they don't. They just stand out quite nicely. Next up, we've got the Battle Scarred AK-47, and it's just a, well, very beat up and battle scarred old AK. It's got some carpenter, or I should say painter's tape, I guess, down there. And then you've got some click-click and some ta-ta-ta-ta going on. And yeah, aiming down the sights, it's kind of just a little black faint tip to the gunmetal, and you do have a little skull and crossbones back there. Next, we have one more AR, and it is the Advanced AK. And yeah, the whole thing just kind of looks like it was made in a singular like mold out of lead or something. It definitely looks more chrome than lead, but it just kind of reminds me of one of those kind of things. And again, very rust kind of feel to it, you know. Aiming down the sides here, you do have a nice target on the skull and a black tip against the chrome. Last but not least, we do have one more weapon for you. We have the Overkill LR300. This comes in a blue and an orange version. And yeah, just this has this very kind of like stretched old melted plastic kind of thing going on. Definitely a very unique look to it. Can see a lot of people liking it just for how different it really is. And the blue version looks quite cool as well. Aiming down the sights here, you do have various different sights, various different types of oranges going on. If I can properly talk today. And there's that reload. Last but not least, we do have a satchel for you, and this one is meant to look like kind of an old Roman kind of thing, and it's the Helculus, well, satchel charge, and oh, there it went. So there's the end of the video. Thanks for watching, everyone. Sound off down in the comment section below. Which ones do you hope will make it in this next week, and why? Always love hearing that feedback. Stay rusty. Have a good one.